Hello, hi, welcome to Vidyavardhini tutorial Chandrapatna. So yesterday we had completed 6 questions from exercise 1.2 of GST chapter. So last 3 questions are remaining in the second exercise. After that, we will move on to the most important part, test yourself. So now we will start with exercise 1.2 and question number 7. A dealer X in Hapur, UP supplies goods or services worth rupees 50,000 to some dealer Y in the same city. Now the dealer Y supplies the same goods and services to dealer Z in Calcutta at profit of rupees 20,000. Find output and input taxes for the dealer Y net GST payable by dealer Y. The rate of GST at each stage is 28%. See, according to the question, there are 3 dealers X, Y and Z. A dealer X in Hapur, which is in UP, supplies goods and services worth rupees 50,000 to the same dealer Y in the same city. That means X supplies some goods and services to Y in the same city, then it is an intrastate transaction. Okay. Now the dealer supplies the same goods and services to a dealer Z in Calcutta. So again, this Y, the dealer sells the same goods and services to a dealer Z in Calcutta. This is in UP and this is from UP to Calcutta. Then the transaction is interstate. At a profit of. Here, the cost price is 50,000. X sells some goods and services to Y at cost price 50,000 and Y gains and Y earns a profit of 20,000 and then he sells the same goods and services to Z with a profit of 20,000. That means the cost price for Z is 50 plus 20, that is 70,000. And according to the question, a dealer for dealer X the transaction is intrastate. Therefore, the selling price is 50,000. For dealer Y, also the transaction is intrastate only because here the transaction is between X and Y, which is intrastate. So dealer X sells a goods at a price of 50,000. So the selling price is 50,000 and Y buys the goods from X at a price of 50,000. So the cost price for Y is 50,000. Since it is an intrastate transaction, the rate of GST they have given that 28% means if GST is 28%, then CGST is equal to half of GST, which is 14%, and SGST is also 14%. Now let us calculate the CGST and SGST amount. CGST is equal to 50,000 of 14% divided by 100, which is equal to rupees 7,000. See, if CGST is 7,000 means then SGST also rupees 7,000. So the input tax for dealer Y is 7,000 plus rupees 7,000, that is CGST plus SGST. So input tax is equal to rupees 14,000. And again, this dealer Y makes some profit of 20,000 by selling the same goods and services to Z, to Calcutta. So profit is equal to rupees 20,000 and selling price for the dealer Y is 50,000 plus 20,000, which is equal to 70,000. So this 70,000 is the selling price of dealer Y. And for dealer Z, here I have already explained that the transaction is between UP and Calcutta. Then it is an interstate transaction. That means here CGST and SGST are not applicable. Only IGST is applicable. So GST is equal to IGST in interstate transaction. Therefore, IGST is equal to 28%. So for dealer Z, IGST is equal to 70,000 of 28% divided by 100. So which is equal to rupees 19,600. So this is the IGST amount for dealer Z. Here in the question 1, find the output and input taxes for the dealer Y. So input tax we have already calculated for dealer Y, which is 14,000, and output tax for Y. See here, input tax of dealer Z is equal to output tax of dealer Y. That means output tax of dealer Y is equal to 19,600 and input tax is equal to rupees 14,000. So this is the input and output tax for dealer Y. Net GST payable by the dealer Y. So net GST is equal to output tax minus input, which is equal to 19,600 minus 14,000, which is equal to 5,600 rupees. 5,600 is the net tax payable to the government by the dealer Y. So the answer for the second question is rupees 5,600 is the net tax payable by the dealer Y for the government. Please take the screenshot. We'll move on to the next question. The eighth question is consultancy services worth rupees 50,000 are transferred from Delhi to Kolkata at a rate of 18% GST, and then Kolkata to Nainital with profit of rupees 20,000 at the same rate of GST. Find the output tax at Delhi. Second one is Kolkata. And third is Nainital. See, here consultancy services worth rupees 50,000. So there are three consultancy services. One is from Delhi to Kolkata and Kolkata to Nainital. Here, all the transactions are interstate only. Then the tax applicable is only IGST. Here CGST is already given. That means if GST is equal to 18% means IGST is also 18%. In the first part of the question, consultancy services worth rupees 50,000 are transferred from Delhi to Kolkata. And again from Kolkata to Nainital with a profit of 20,000. Here the selling price of Delhi is 50,000 and the cost price for Kolkata is 50,000 and selling price is 50,000 plus 20,000 because the consultant he has earned a profit of 20,000 by consultancy services by transferring it to Kolkata to Nainital. Then the cost price for Nainital is 70,000. Since the transaction is interstate, find the output tax for Delhi. That means for the first question, output tax for Delhi is IGST, which is equal to 50,000 of, put 18% of 50,000, which is 18 divided by 100. So which is equal to 9,000. So 9,000 is the IGST paid for the consultancy services. So the output tax for Delhi is rupees 9,000. And for Kolkata, cost price is equal to rupees 50,000 and here he makes a profit of rupees 20,000 by selling it to Nainital. That means selling price is equal to cost price plus profit, which is equal to rupees 50,000 plus rupees 20,000, which is equal to 70,000. Since here also the transaction is interstate means, then IGST is equal to 70,000 of 18%, which is 18 divided by 100, which is equal to 12,600. Hence, output tax in Kolkata is equal to 12,600. So this is the answer for question number 2. And for 3, that is output tax for Nainital. See, here Nainital, he does not, from here there is no transaction. Since the dealer in Nainital does not transfer any consultancy services further. That means since the dealer Nainital does not transfer consultancy services further. Hence, the output tax payable is 0, which is, that is output tax at Nainital is equal to 0. Now let's move on to the last question of this exercise. So this is the last and important question of this exercise. The last question is, for a trader, market price of a refrigerator is equal to rupees 15,680 exclusive of GST. GST is 12%. Gagan a customer for this refrigerator asked the trader to reduce the market price of the refrigerator to such an extent that its reduced price plus GST on it is equal to market price of the refrigerator. Find the required reduction. So here read the question carefully. For a trader, market price of a refrigerator is 15,680 exclusive of GST. So this price is excluding GST. So Gagan, a customer for the refrigerator, asked the trader to reduce the market price of the refrigerator to such an extent that its reduced price plus GST on it should be equal to the market price. So we have to find the reduction in the price. Here they have given the market price of the refrigerator. So here we have to find the reduction in the market price. That is reduction plus GST should be equal to 15,680. Now let the new market price of the refrigerator be X. We don't know the new market price of the refrigerator. So we have taken it as X. So the customer, the given market price is equal to rupees 15,680. So according to the question, the customer asked a trader that the market price of the refrigerator, 15,680. The market price of the refrigerator should be equal to the reduction in the price inclusive of GST. That means new market price of the refrigerator plus 12% of X. That is, this is the new market price of the refrigerator plus 12% of GST on X. So which is equal to X plus 12 divided by 100 of X. So 15,680 is equal to X plus 0.12 of X. So here 15,680 is equal to 1 plus 0.12 is equal to 15,680 is equal to 1.12 of X. Now we have to find the X. Then X is equal to 15,680 divided by 1.12, which is equal to 14,000. So now we have got the value of X. Now we have to find reduction in X. Reduction in price is equal to 15,680 minus 14,000, which is equal to 1,680. So the required reduction is rupees 1,680. This is the final answer. Hope you all have understood. If you have any doubts, please drop your comments in the comment box. So anybody has doubts in the exercise 1.2? You can ask in the comment box. So We'll move on to the main part of this chapter, GST. This is the most important part which is not covered in your schools. Most of the schools does not cover the test yourself part. So we will try to solve one or two problems today from test yourself. Retailer purchased an item for rupees 8,000 from a wholesaler and sells to a customer at 15% profit. The sales are intrastate. That means the transaction is within the state and the rate of GST is 10%. The amount of GST paid by the customer is, four options they have given. One is rupees 460, rupees 920, rupees 1840 and rupees 92. See, this problem is bit different from the previous problem. Here, the cost price is rupees 8,000 and profit is 15% and GST they have given is 10%. So now we have to find what is the exact amount of profit a retailer has made. That is, retailer has earned. That means selling price for retailer is equal to cost price plus profit. which is equal to the selling price, cost price is 8,000 plus profit is 15%. That means 15 divided by 100 of 8,000. Or else you can calculate the